Good morning, class 11s. With this video, we will be coming to an end of this chapter, social change and social order in rural and urban society. So here we basically studied about the means and the various instruments of social order and various sources or forces or causes of social change. And here in this last video, we will read about social change and social order in rural areas first. Okay, so I've highlighted only the main points. It's your responsibility to read the entire text. So villages are smaller in size and have personalized relationships. So personalized relationship means that they know each other informally. Okay, they have a personal relationship, and villages are much smaller in size in comparison to the cities, the urban areas. Rural areas are smaller than the urban areas. The structure of the village is traditional, where caste and religion are stronger. So, like how in the cities, how in the urban areas, okay, law, authority is more important, right? Rules, regulations are more important. But here, this it is more traditional. Okay, it is more like uh, yeah, like how they followed in the old times. It is more traditional, and then caste, religion are more stronger. Caste system, religion, it plays an important role. The caste system is stronger in the villages, hence the lower caste subordinate groups are dominated by the upper caste dominant caste who control the resources of all kinds. So what is caste system? It is basically a system in which the entire society is stratified. It is divided into different groups. Okay, so the ones at the top are they are of the higher caste and they are more rich and more respected, and those at the lower end of the hierarchy is dominated and they are the lower caste. So here in as in the villages, the caste system is very strong. The people in the lower strata are dominated, okay, and they are poor. Technological and modern changes takes much longer to be implemented in the villages, but now with the help of technology, this has reduced. So like all the changes, like new modern changes that needs to come, it comes quite late in the villages as compared to the urban areas. Although now it is increasing, it has been coming basically because of new modes of communication and all sorts of technology that has been coming up. Because due to the help of that, villages are also getting the modern facilities. Changes in the structure of land brings about changes in rural societies. Like you know how agriculture is very important. Okay, it is like the primary occupation of our country, and then especially in rural areas, agriculture is the major source of income and livelihood of the people. So agriculture, for that land is required. So land is very important. So changes in the structure of the land means changes in how the land has been owned. It plays an important role in rural areas. So how like earlier there was zamindari system, like there was the system of middlemen, okay, and these people used to make the low caste people work on their fields, okay, and then used to give them wages on the daily basis, and which was very low, and these people, all such things happen. So slowly changes in the structure of the ownership of land also changed. When the Britishers came, these zamindars, these people got more, more power. But then after independence, many reforms or many acts has been passed, because of which like the structure of the land has changed, and zamindari system has also been abolished. And then the change in the structure brings about change in the rural societies. The introduction of machinery also brings about change in the rural society as the demand for labor declines. So earlier, when there was no technology, the everything used to be done by the laborers manually. But with the introduction of all these machines, okay, in agriculture, all these facilities which made agriculture easier than before, because of that the demand for labor declined. So people who used to work earlier in those fields, they became like they were not required anymore. So that's for villages. It brings about changes in the village society. So next is social order and social change in urban areas. So city is a combination of anonymity and various amenities and institutions. So anonymity basically means, that in some poems we studied, there was the author's name was not written, and it was only written anonymous. So in the city, in like even in Siliguri, do you know everyone who stays there? No, right? So we are anonymous to them. You see them today, you will forget them tomorrow. You don't know the name, you don't know anything. But that's not the case in the villages, okay? So in city is a combination of anonymity and various amenities. So there are a lot of facilities and there are a lot of institution in the villages. So the city fosters individualism. So individualism basically means like the individual, the person himself or herself is more important than the rest of the group or the society or the family. So in city that happens, okay? People are more like individualistic. They are more concerned about themselves rather than anybody else. So in the city, the problem of space comes up here. As a result, it brings more strategies of resistance and assertion. So basically, space is very important, like very big problem in the cities. People live in a small, so many people live in a small room, and there are people who work at night, who go to work at night and date, and like at night somebody else is sleeping in their room, and the people who slept during the night goes to work in the morning, and those working in at night goes to sleep in the morning. So there is a lot of space problem. So because of that, people like learn how to resist many things. So basically, because of the shortage of houses and space, it is obviously the poor people who are more affected than the rich ones. Not than the rich ones are not affected at all. So because of the shortage of houses and space, the poor people they become homeless, okay? And because of homelessness, they begin to live in the streets, like they don't care about anything and they just sleep everywhere and anywhere. And because of that, slowly it leads to the creation of slums. So this also brings about change in the city, and it is a huge problem. Slum problem is very huge problem in the cities. Again, although like the city is very, there's a lot of variance, okay, difference in the city. There are people living in slums, okay, who do not have light, who do not have even a proper toilet facility. And then on the other hand, there are residential areas, there are apartments where rich people live and who have everything more than required. So these residential areas, they are like, as you have noticed, maybe in many cities, residential areas are not located in the heart of the town, but somewhere a bit like, far, not literally very far, but like somewhere outside the town, or some outside the town, okay? So residential areas are segregated, they are like kept aside from other people, not other people, the normal marginal men. So then in city, although like it is, city is more modern than villages, but still there is like people are differentiated on the basis of their religion, their caste, their customs, their traditions, okay? So a major problem in the urban area is gentrification, whereby a lower class neighborhood converts into a middle upper class one. So here what it means is that like gentrification takes place in the city, where like a more wealthier and richer section of people, they slowly come to live in a particular, in an area where lower class people used to live, okay? And slowly they begin to live there and brings all such kind of basic facilities that is required, and slowly they encroach upon that place. And then these people, the lower caste people, they tend to be, they are like in most cases displaced due to the process of gentrification. And then because like I mentioned, that residential areas are like quite far away, and they are far away from town and industrial areas. So because of that, like transport also becomes a huge problem, okay? If you go by public transport, like they go there and they get them, or even office transport facility, they have to go and get the particular person living in the residential area, Because of that, it creates more traffic, and then these people living in residential areas, they prefer their own private cars. Because of that, traffic again increases, not only traffic but also pollution, right? So this is it. I think others are understandable, even this is understandable quite, right? So please read the text, and if you don't understand, you can just inbox me on the school app. Okay, thank you.